Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the image editing options in Photopea. Now we're not doing anything too complex today, but we are going to play around with the saturation, with the levels, the value of the photograph, just that we have a really interesting reference photograph to work from on this project. Go ahead and open your file. Oh, and you know what? Sometimes I have files come up as the HEIC format, and Photopea doesn't like that. Just put it into a HEIC to JPEG image converter. Okay, so here's my photograph. All right, so you see we've got a cooler blue side and a warmer red side, and then we also have one of the props in here. All right, let's go ahead and crop this first. I think I would like to go to rectangle select. I want to do a fixed ratio. The width should be 8 and the height should be 10, and that's going to make it so that it's the same size as your panel. Okay, let's click and drag. And remember, you kind of want your face to be large enough in the panel and also somewhat centralized. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's go to image and then crop. Great. Okay, so this will do nicely. All right, just zoomed in a little. And when you want to deselect stuff, you can just hit Command D, or you can go to Select, Deselect. All right, let's go ahead and change some of the color stuff. Go to Image up at the top in the toolbar, over to Adjustments, and you know what? I think we'll actually start with the value. So go ahead and hit Levels. All right. Now, in the levels, there is a little toggle to control the darkest values, the midtones, and then the highlights. So I recommend just kind of messing around with this. You see if I move this one over, things get darker. If I move this one over in the middle, the midtones get darker. And this is for the highlights. You don't want to go too crazy. Don't do anything like this. But you know, sometimes there are some nice subtle changes that you can make. I think that's kind of interesting. I made it a little bit darker so that there's a more obvious highlight and shadow. Okay, let's go now to Image, Adjustments, and I think we'll do hue and saturation. All right, so saturation is just the saturation, and you see you can turn that all the way up or all the way down. Now, we don't want to go too crazy. Here we are at 0. We're just going to bump it up a little bit. I just put it to saturation level 8. And if we go over here to preview, you can uncheck it and recheck it. So you can kind of see the difference there. It's not crazy, it's just a little bit of additional intensity. I think I like that. You can also mess with the hue, but I don't recommend doing that. Because as you can see, it gets pretty crazy. But it's fun to use for other projects if that's the sort of thing that you're interested in. For now, I'll just go ahead and put that back at 0. Okay, let's see. So if we go back to Image, Adjustments, you can also change the color balance. And, you know, that can be useful sometimes. You can select shadows, midtones, or highlights. Say you want your shadows to be a little more red, because here my shadows are on the redder side. And then maybe I want my highlights to be a little more blue. Maybe a little green too. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of nice. Okay. There we go. So this is just a little bit more intense. It'll be more interesting when I'm mixing my colors because now I have a lot of areas with super saturated red, the green's a little bit more obvious, and it'll just be more fun for you generally. Don't forget to play around with how you crop your image. Looking at it, I feel like maybe I should actually crop it a little closer. Yeah, you could crop it that close if you wanted to. I think that looks very good. Okay. Once you're done, go up to File and go to Export As. JPEG. And then you're done. Just go ahead and save. Oh, you do want to resize this. Let's see, image size. Go to inches. We want this to be 8. Well, here's something to look at. You can, I'm going to exit out of that. Go back to image size, hit this little lock. That's going to keep these two connected. So when you change this, this will change as well. So if I make the width 8, oh, did it do it? No, it did not. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm used to Photoshop. So actually just go ahead and put an 8 here and then go ahead and put in 10 here. You set the fixed ratio with the cropping, so it should be an 8:10 ratio anyway. Let's go ahead and try that. Okay, great, so this is now 8:10 images, 8:10 inches. Now go ahead and export. There you go, it just saves right down there. And you can go ahead and take that file and print from there.